Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode, I'm going to be recapping the newest Marvel special presentation, that being The Punisher One Last Kill, which was released yesterday as of time of recording, in the middle of the night, but still yesterday, the 13th of May 2026. I'm recording this episode obviously one day later on the 14th of May 2026. And if you are listening to this episode on an audio platform, you should be listening to this episode in about 2 weeks from now. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, it's hard to say because Matt does the episodes in a different order, so you won't get, or very rarely to get the same episode on both days. And 4 episodes a week on YouTube and 2 episodes every single day, so that's 14 episodes a week on audio platforms because it's free. If anything, actually Spreaker pays me sometimes if the episodes do quite well, so I don't have to pay anything towards that, which is why I'm able to do more episodes on there. But before I spoil the events of The Punisher One Last Kill, here's the trailer, which if you watched or listened to The Breakfast Show, which I did for about a week, then and a bit, I think you'll, or was it a week? I think it was just a week and a bit. Here is the trailer. You would have seen it or heard it anyway. But without further ado, here is the trailer for The Punisher One Last Kill.
Hey, Frank. How you doing, brother? Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Think God's gonna forgive us for the things we've done? I'm not sure about me. But you ain't got a fucking chance. That's all you got? That's all you got?
That was the trailer for The Punisher One Last Kill, which was a Marvel special presentation, which they've not done for about 3.5 years. So, yeah, The Punisher One Last Kill is interesting because, as if you've watched Daredevil Born Again Season 2 or listened to my recap, or watched my recap, you will have noticed that Frank Castle doesn't appear in that, and that's because he was filming this and as well Spider-Man Brand New Day, so it kind of brings us from where he is in Daredevil Born Again Season 1 to where he ends up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's kind of like the bridge from those two. But before I get any further, obviously this will now end into spoiler territory. If you've not watched The Punisher One Last Kill, please go and check it out, because I don't want to spoil if you want to watch it. Obviously, if you've already watched it, and then please stay, and if you don't mind being spoiled, you can stay as well, but I just don't want you to be spoiled if you didn't want to be. So here's the spoiler alert. But yeah, this is a very interesting thing because it's a special, so it's very standalone, and it doesn't connect to Daredevil Born Again or Spider-Man Brand New Day particularly, and does have a very strong mental health aspect to it, which I wasn't expecting, and kind of people that had seen it before it came out said that there were very good fight scenes, but with this there is no fight scenes for half of the first half of the special. There isn't. It's about 3/4 of an hour-ish, and there's no fight scenes for that first half, so it's more focused on the mental health side, with Frank seeing people that aren't there, which includes Karen Page, played by Deborah Ann Woll, which was a nice surprise. And and seeing that, and was she actually real? Wasn't she? And all the ghosts and people, to the point where you saw a clip of it in the trailer of Frank seeing his future self, not future, previous self, past self. That's what I meant. So it was interesting to see that, and it's kind of revenge on some point, because we get some backstory of the Punisher. As I mentioned previously, I've not watched the original Punisher or Daredevil, any of the Netflix shows at all. So my only knowledge is through Daredevil Born Again, and now the Punisher One Last Kill. So that we find out that Frank's entire family was killed, and kind of we then learn Frank is told a story by an old woman who can't walk, who tells him that he killed all of her family, and that she wants revenge, and he's going to, at 6:47, which is the time that she lost the last member of her family, that kind of Frank goes basically a bounty on his head, and kind of is faced by everyone, which does happen. To the point where, so that those are the fight scenes. So very interesting format. That kind of, we have no fight scenes, then it's one after another, basic to the end, where Frank chooses to save someone. So kind of more in line with a superhero rather than getting revenge, as you towards the start of the special. So it is kind of interesting format, and I'm interested to see how that leads into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I will actually play the trailer for in a minute. But is there anything else I want to mention? Yeah, there's actually a disclaimer before the special, because there's obviously mentions about mental health, and actually at the end there are numbers and kind of for that. So that was quite helpful. It wasn't really what I was expecting. I didn't know what I was expecting, but kind of, yeah, it was interesting. So I would check that if you've watched Daredevil Born Again, or thinking about watching Spider-Man Brand New Day, and obviously are over 18, because it is quite dark actually, and even the fact is I went, whoa, geez, that's brave. Then yeah, but as I said, Frank Castle, the Punisher, played by John Berthenol, will return in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So here is the trailer for that. But before I do, I have actually reacted to the trailer separately, so if you want to check out that episode. But without further ado, here's the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I can't believe our first hit at my team. MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home! And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see. Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
That was the trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which will release in cinemas worldwide from the 31st of July 2026. Yeah, that's it. So before that, I recapped The Punisher One Last Kill. So let me know what you thought of The Punisher One Last Kill if you watched it, my recap if you didn't. And without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.